Now I'll ask all the professionals here if they have any question, they want to raise up something which is important. Please. And please, everybody, I ask everybody, tell her or his name and the organization was presenting.
I work for Sarajevo Film Festival, and I do the competition program, which basically focuses on the region, including Hungary. And what's been happening in Hungary for the past year, but with the emphasis of what's been happening in the past 2 months, has come as a surprise to everyone from the region, because 5 years ago we were all looking up to the Hungarian model and saying, okay, we are little countries just trying to figure out the new systems with the disintegration of Yugoslavia. So we were looking up to what's been happening in Hungary, because we felt, and I totally agree with Cornel, that Hungary has been a brand name in context of European cinema, especially on the festival circuit, and has been quite successful. You can see on the little book that we have, the Decade of Hungarian Cinema. Of course, I understand that the system always has to be improved. And my question is actually, do you have any people from the audiovisual sector working with you on board for the next 90 days? I mean, concretely from Hungary, do you communicate with the industry, and do you have somebody on your team from the industry dealing with the film and, from this side? Because I know you also are in a very difficult position, because while accepting the job, you're on the other side, which should not be the true. You should all be on the same side. So do you have people from the industry working on your 90-day program, which you will present to your government in 2 or 3 months?
I just add, 90 days, it was Andrew who decided that this will be his schedule. So we start to call it the 90 days program, but it's a fiction.
I was given a year, but I think people would be really unhappy if we were all sitting around here a year from today trying to figure out what we're doing. Yes, I have several people working from the audiovisual side. I'm not on the other side. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So I am only on one side. I am trying to improve the situation in Hungary and make it work and come up with an administration that can follow along the decisions that will be made to support films. Because right now, that has, unfortunately, we have nothing against Hungarian movies. We're proud of them. But the system is bankrupt, so there is a problem somewhere. We need to fix it, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah, please.
Daniel Zimmerman, I'm running the media stands, media program Umbrella Stands, our presence, among our participants, of course we have Hungarian producers. But I'm just a question, what do you mean the system is bankrupt? Because I think in European history, in the subsidy program history, I have never heard such a thing, so it's quite a new factor in the European landscape. I heard about states being almost bankrupt, but never a subsidy system. So, do you speak about mismanagement, or that's a question?
All right.
Who wants to answer?
Oh no! Wait, hold on a second. Well,
I'm going to take it just because to try and give you some perspective. There is a recession going out there, in case people are not aware of it. We're going through very difficult times. I think Hungary especially. In that difficult time, they've had to make budget cuts. And in those budget cuts, some of the industry was part of that. The film industry was part of those budget cuts. Unfortunately, the previous administration of the people that handled the motion pictures decided that these budget cuts shouldn't apply to them. And they continued to spend at the rate of the old budgets. And that is what caused the problem. They did it by financing through banks. And instead of cutting back when they went from 5 million to 3, when they went from 5 billion to 4 billion, They didn't cut it back to 4, they spent 6. And this has been going on for 3-4 years. Consequently, this money has rolled up, and it's causing a problem now. This is not really what I'm concerned with. This is not my area of expertise. But unfortunately, that's what the situation is. It's not about the quality of Hungarian films. It's not about anything. It's about working. It's just like if you had a company that was going bankrupt, you had to work your way out of it. And that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Attila, do you have something in your mind? I mean, do you any knowledge about fund which is specially made to help out of this problem? So what could be the financial solution?
I don't like to pass the answer to some other fields, but this is on a higher level, making decisions about solving financial problems. There has been discussions. We've been made a list of, as Andy mentioned, we've been made a list of the films, Hungarian finance films co-productions, and we tried to create an order, and we have to present it to the government and try to figure out the way to solve those financial problems. I can't give you an answer that we can solve all of the problems. But
which ministry is busy with this?
What?
By the way, which ministry is busy with
Kim, how do you say that in English?
The ministry that just sent us the letter.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I was thinking my English is not enough good.
Just wanna spell your name, please.
My name is Kabai Barna. I am living in Germany, producing in Germany and in Hungary.
And directing films. And directing films sometimes.
Also, yes. Ich habe mir gedacht, ich werde lieber Deutsch sprechen, weil mein lawyer English not enough
it won't be better.
And that's why I will speak Hungarian now, because you have a wonderful translator here. Nagyon sajnálom, hogy itt néhány embernek ellent kell mondjak, de a magyar filmipar elmúlt éve katasztrofális volt. Tehát nem csak azért, mert hogy a pénzt előre elköltötték, szerintem ez a legkevesebb, és ez engem nem is annyira zavar. Engem sokkal jobban zavar, hogy olyan filmek készültek, amelyeket nem lehetett bemutatni Magyarországon, mert a producer nem szerezte meg a jogait. Olyan filmek készültek, aminek nincsenek nézője moziba, tehát ettől az egész filmipar, beleértve a forgalmazást, a mozikat, a művészmozikat teljesen padlóra került, hogy az egy természetes dolog, hogy valaki neki kezd egy filmnek akkor, amikor tudja, hogy nincs is pénze, hogy befejezze. Hát, hogy ez nevetséges, hát mégis Európában vagyunk. És folytathatnám a példákat. Kicsit unalmas, ezért nem is erről akarnék beszélni. Sokkal inkább azt szeretném elmondani, hogy nagyon örülök, hogy Vajnaur felvállalja ezt a nagyon népszerűtlen szerepet, amiben belekerült, mert én biztos vagyok benne, hogy lelkiismeretesen és tudással javát adva próbálja majd megoldani ezt a dolgot. Persze ehhez pénz is kell. És mégis el szeretném mondani, hogy ezelőtt egy évvel már német forgalmazók, producerek és rendezőkkel közösen gondolkoztunk néhány dolgon, hogy is kellene Magyarországon másképp, mert már akkor látszott, hogy nem működik ez a rendszer. Én csak néhány példát vetnék fel, és ebben igazság szerint sok újdonság nincs, mert ez csak Magyarországon nem működik. Tehát először is a televíziók bevonása. Hát hallottuk a példákat a többi országban, de hát mondjuk például itt Németországban is rengeteg ilyen van. Az természetes dolog, hogy a televíziók pénzt adnak a filmiparba, és szorosan együttműködnek a mozifilmekkel. itt nem csak a közszolgálati televízióról beszélek, hanem a privát televíziókról is. Ez csak Magyarországon nem divat. Egyébként közösen egymást segítve működhetnek a televíziók és a mozgókép alapítvány, vagy más alapítvány, minek is hívjam most, filmintézet, vagy központi alapítvány, vagy mozgókép alapítvány, nem tudom. Tehát ez a bizonyos új finanszírozási központ, ami lesz. Ez be kell, hogy vegye a televíziós vezetőket a pénzadó kuratóriumába, mert ha valaki pénzt tesz be ebbe az alapítványba, akkor joga van, hogy a döntésbe is részt vehessen. Még egyszer nem szeretném sorolni a példákat. Például mégiscsak egyet mondok, Filmfernsehen von Bayern például. De hát nagyon sok van. A másik, amit szeretnék mondani, és tényleg nem mennék bele mindenbe, mert rengeteg dologról gondolkoztunk, hogy egy koprodukciós alap létrehozása az rendkívül fontos lenne. Mégpedig állandó jelleggel és hibátlanul működtetve, mert valóban tarthatatlan állapot, hogy koprodukciós szerződések a levegőbe lógnak, és például az én kitűnő rendező barátom filmjét nem fizetik ki, kész a film, megvan a szerződése, csak azért, mert valaki azt mondta, hogy nincs pénz, vagy ki tudja, mi lesz. És sokan vannak így, hát itt ezt a drámai helyzetet jól ismerjük. Tehát még egyszer mondom, erre egy külön nagy alapot kéne létesíteni. Ezen kívül pedig még azt szeretném elmondani, hogy magyar sztárokat kéne kinevelni, senki nem ismeri a mai magyar színészeket már. Nagyon fontos lenne, hogy a forgalmazást támogassák sokkal erősebben, és például ezt a bizonyos filmtámogatási adórendszert, vagy hogy is hívják ezt, tehát ezt a bizonyos 20%-os rendszert sokkal erősebben kellene támogatni, megemelném 30%-ra, hiszen már a környező országokban is mindenütt van, és azt kell, hogy mondjam, hogy ha nem működik ez se, akkor végleg meghal a filmipar. Már is túl sokat beszéltem. Köszönöm szépen.
Köszönöm szépen. There was lots of issues which are very important in this. Yeah, just one second. The very important issue is the role of the public televisions in the film industry. We have Laurent Poich here, who is just a couple of days ago was nominated as the responsible of the content of this huge fund, which is busy with the functioning and production of all the public services in Hungary, like the MTV1, MTV2, the Duna, the autonomy television, radio, and the news agency. So I would just ask you now that everybody speaks about it, and even we heard about the Danish model and everything. They really participating practically automatically are there to producing the national films. So what kind of plans are in your mind? You know that you have lots of money. I mean, relatively in Hungary, you are
Actually, it looks like that we have a lot of money.
Closer.
Okay, so actually it looks like that we have a lot of money. We still don't know how much we'll have for programming and for production. But one thing is for sure that fiction has to play a much more significant part in the life of the public televisions as before, because what Barna also mentioned, that there are generations of actors who are not known, and in this field the Hungarian public television service has to play a very important part. And so we have some plans to have again TV plays, TV series, and to be the partner for the Hungarian movies. And the scale and the system, that is another issue, and that is something which has to be decided within a short period of time.
But you have co-production with the film industry in Hungary? Not just producing television films in your body, but go on the market and try to make co-productions, even international co-productions?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that I'm just joining the fund, so I have some plans, but we have to check the numbers first, and then we will know what the playground, how big the playground will be. So, but obviously that is a priority, to support Hungarian movies, the Hungarian film industry, and to involve as many international partners as it is feasible and possible.
All right. So the will is there.
Yes.
And it depends, how much money in your pocket.
Yeah.
All right. So Gábor, you wanted to tell us something about maybe about Barnes.
De ezt a katasztrofálisnak nevezni egyébként 2010-et az egy, lehet, hogy német producer szájából furcsa, de a magyar producer szájából egészen sértő és megalázó. Tehát én úgy gondolom, hogy ne bántsuk tovább ezt a szakmát, van elég bajunk. Én úgy gondolom, hogy a Bibliothèque Pascal, a Frankenstein, a Pál Adrien, meg a Zöld Sárkány, bocsánat, csak egy néhány filmet emelek ki, ilyen járja a világot hónapok óta, a Cannes versenyben volt, a komoly díjat kaptak, van egy filmünk, ami 300 000 néző felett produkál, tehát én igazából nem értem, hogy miért mondta ezt a Barna, tehát ennyiben azért a külföldieket hadd védjem meg a 2010-es évünket.
Köszönjük. Elizabeth, you are coming from the FERA also. My colleague, by the way. So you wanted to ask something, yeah?
So my name is Elisabeth Sjostad. I'm the chief executive of the Federation, European Federation of Film Directors. I'm Norwegian, and I just another one of these small countries. And I just wanted to share an experience from 5 years ago when we did a complete restructuring of the Norwegian Film Institute and industry. And of course, we went on a study trip to Denmark, as a lot of people do. And there is a feature. Yes, so there is a feature of the Danish Institute that Henrik did not mention, which I think is quite interesting to bring up. And this is the role that the industry itself plays during these processes of restructuring. And in Norway, the Ministry of Culture set down a committee with several representatives, one of which I was part of this. And we also put in a formalized structure within the institute, saying they had to speak to an industry council. It's not something formal, apart from the fact that once in a while the head of the institute will meet with this joint industry council, where all the big unions or guilds will be represented, and for the industry to feel part of this process, and for also to have a say in how the structure is built up. My question was to Mr. Weiner. Of course, you need your time now to get an overview of the situation, but my question was, how do you plan to involve the Hungarian industry so that they also feel ownership to the new structure that you want to put in place? Thank you.
Well, so simply by discussing it with them, and as soon as we have the plan, I will be happy to sit down. My doors are, by the way, open, and I have at least 3-4 producers and directors walking every day who are coming with ideas, who are coming with concepts. I listen to them. Some will work, some won't work. But I think it's only fair, since you guys are producers and directors, a lot of them here, it's tough to judge a film before you see it. So let's see it and then judge it. So I'd like you to give me a chance to put a program together that you can then hate or love, but at least let's put it together, because it does need a change. I mean, the industry needs a change. To give you a few pointers of where we are today. Film, which was 20 years ago one of the giants of Eastern Europe filmmaking. Today they can't pay their electrical bills. The laboratory has been breaking even or losing money every month. The film archives doesn't have enough money to pay for their yearly budget. The art houses don't have money to pay for anything. They can't buy films, they can't pay the producers, they can't do anything. So we're in a sorry state. And I can't even tell you how complex it is, going from the theaters to the productions, through the various government agencies, to try and clean this up and put it in one barrel so that you can see through it and that you can see where the taxpayers' money is going, and to make sure that it brings the country some proudness, some well-being, that yes, this tax money is being spent properly. Yes, we're heading in a direction. Yes, we can win festivals. Yes, we can make commercial successes. We've done it before. We can do it again. I think they need guidance and they need recognition of talent. And they need support. But I need time right now. That's the only thing that I need.
My name is Piers Haddad. I'm the chair, vice president and chair of FERA, the European Directors or Representative Organization. I think I will speak for many people just to say that in the framework, that the framework of this discussion is, of course, an anxiety about the new media law. And that until people hear that freedom will be confirmed, that anxiety will remain. Coming to the film industry, I think hearing Andivana today and a humility and sincerity about the size of the task, that I think we understand. We've all faced terrible tasks in our lives, and you only get anywhere if you start modestly, simply, and by listening. And I would just like to say that the European Directors FERA, we would support very, very strongly what the Danes have said about arm's length principle, and just remind everybody that the great masterpieces of Hungarian cinema from the communist era were not made on the government line. They were made by individuals who stood for the individual creative voice. And I would urge you to embrace that. It's going to be the individual creative voices that will make the successes of the future Hungarian cinema, and we wish you the very, very best.
Thank you, Piers. You wanted to say something? Microphone over there.
I'm Ada Solomon, and I'm coming from Romania, and I don't want to share a success story, but to share a non-success story of our country, just because all the time the Romanians, the only way to move the Romanian politicians towards doing something is by telling them, look, the Hungarians are doing like this. So we are always looking with respect, admiration, and envy towards Hungary, and now it's no longer the case. So I just want to share the situation that we were facing like 1 year ago when our funds were blocked for 1.5 years and there was no film made. And the reactions and the consequences of this long period of blockage are showing up now. So, for instance, you are not seeing in Berlinale any Romanian film, not because there is no good Romanian film to be screened in the Berlinale, but just because there is no Romanian film done to be ready for the Berlinale. And we are, after a period where our audiences are getting back to the cinemas for Romanian films, now we have nothing to offer them. So we are facing a period when the results of a stop like this, of a blockage like this, are showing off and is affecting the image of Romanian cinema around the world, is affecting the image of Romanian cinema in the cinemas towards the Romanian audience that just started to grow and to come back to the cinemas, and is affecting also the life of the technicians that are turning again from the cinema back to television and other means to make a living in a not very easy period. So why I'm bringing up this example is that what I think is to be done is, of course, it should be thinking of quietly on long-term solutions, but also should be seen and find out short-term solutions and immediate solutions to deblock the whole situation. I think also that we can't avoid the political influence in what's going on in the industry. It's not about political decision in supporting one thing or another, but it's about political will to consider indeed culture and film as part of the culture as a mean of the mental health of the society. And in the moment that politicians are not giving a penny, like in Romania, towards culture, being it entertainment, means of education, and pure art, then we are completely fucked, I'm sorry. So we cannot carry on. So this is what I wanted to point. And I think that politicians and political lobby is important for the industry, even if it's not influencing decisions.
Thank you. All your remarks. Yeah, please, Csaba.
Only a short mention about that you said, because I'm born in Romania and I lived in France, and I know that the principal things in European culture after the famous GATT agreement that was in the beginning of the 90s, the GATT agreement between Europe and the United States, that the cinema and the movie, it's not merchandising like aircraft, car business, or washing machine. It's a cultural exception. So we cannot say that cinema in Europe and all the European countries, cinema it's take part from the cultural exception. So it's not a merchandising like everything else on the market. That I think that's very important to precise that today.
Thank you.
I have just two brief questions for this couple of gentlemen there. And first, just a little remark. If the Hungarian film production is an artistic disaster, I would like very much to give this disaster to me so I can file it in my annual report. I would be very proud of. And the question for the minister from the Minister of Culture, I just wonder, does other cultural sectors in Hungary have in plan that kind of reform, and the theaters are not in bankrupt, or libraries, or ballet dancers? So is this, the larger reform that will affect other cultural sectors, or some specificum only for the film industry? It's very interesting from a strategic point.
All other sectors. All other sectors have less budget to work with, and as Andy mentioned earlier, the real situation in the film industry is that in the last 5-6 years, they finance their films from bank loans. None other type of cultural section has done that. That's the real problem. Well, you decide.
Sorry, and if I'm...
One more thing I wanted to say, that in my position that... I'm not a lawyer. I'm coming from the film industry. I'm myself a filmmaker. And I think the festivals, we are in Berlin, and Berlinale is a very important place to show your works. But I think it is very important for Hungarian films not just to be in festivals and be successful in festivals, but have the Hungarian audience go and see them. Because there are films that make only a few thousand audience in Hungary, and if the government finances certain films, I'm not talking about the quality of films, but if the government finances the films, we have to find ways with distribution and create a new system of distribution to show these films to the people in Hungary. I think this is very, very important.
And we arrived in a very, very critical issue right now. So the distribution here in Hungary and the art house cinemas, the cinemas owned by the municipalities, are really on the verge of closing down. So in a couple of months, there won't be any Hungarian movie theater owned by the municipalities which is really functioning, because they don't have more money. So there are some people here in the room, I think, who is busy with these theaters. I don't see them now. Anyway, this is also a very urgent problem. And also it's a very big dilemma, you know.
Maybe some long-term stuff that I can deal with, not yesterday.
Yeah. But the thing is, you know, that they didn't touch any foreigners, you know, for, I think, 8 months. And they won't be able to survive.
Well, I think with and you're talking about the art cinemas, because all the other cinemas are doing well.
Yeah.
There's no problem. So the art cinemas, I think the whole concept of financing the art films in Hungary has to be looked at as well. And I think we have to look at the whole international scene and see how we can barter and trade movies, because it's great that the Hungarian government up till now has been financing all these foreign films to the tune of whatever millions of forints. But how many Hungarian films are the other countries buying?
Yep.
And how much are those governments helping them? I'm not sure. That's another part of my assignment that I need to look at. And I think we have devised a very interesting way to help the art circuits and help the art cinemas stay alive.